Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video, we're going to be talking about rabbits and some of the myths that you have probably heard about them. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you can watch more animal videos. Before we get started, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Amino. Amino is a fun app where you can find groups of people with the same interests as you. There are thousands of Aminos for all different kinds of interests, from pets to movies and TV shows, books, and more. I'm a member of the Bunnies and Rabbits Amino, where I've been posting photos of Merida. I even posted a quiz all about Netherlanddorf rabbits, and I'd like to give a special shout out to Smoky Rabbits for getting the highest score on that quiz. You can join me over on Amino by downloading the app from the link in the description of this video. If you love bunnies, you are going to enjoy the app because you can post photos of your rabbits, share artwork, get friendly advice, and participate in polls and quizzes. And there are always a lot of other people to talk to who also love rabbits. Join me there and let me know what rabbit video you want to see next. So myth number 1, rabbits are rodents. That's actually not true, but don't feel bad if you did confuse them for being rodents because they do have a lot in common with rodents. But rabbits are not rodents. They're actually classified as lagomorphs. Myth number 2, you can bathe your rabbit. No, absolutely not. Don't try bathing your rabbit, please. Rabbits can actually die from shock if they're submerged in water. I know there's some videos out there that people think are really cute of a rabbit in water taking a bath, but that's not a good idea, and those owners were just very lucky that their rabbit tolerated it well, because there's many more instances where they've actually died. So don't try to bathe your rabbit. If your rabbit is dirty and does need to be cleaned up, use a wet washcloth. Next myth is that rabbits will only bond with each other if they are spayed or neutered. No, this is a complete lie, and the people that are supporting this and spreading this lie they're not even using logic to support their argument. So they say that rabbits are naturally social and need a friend, but that they have to go through something unnatural in order to have a friend. That doesn't make any sense. If they do naturally want companionship and would naturally be together in the wild, then there should be certain circumstances where they would be fine without being altered. And that's such as females and things like that. Even males have been able to be bonded and not be altered. Now, the truth to this is that yes, rabbits are social animals, and for the most part, they do enjoy companionship. However, it is not true that they have to be spayed or neutered. Now, I do recommend that if you're going to be putting males and females together, yes, of course, you do need to have them spayed or neutered, and I recommend having the male neutered and leaving the females intact. However, females will do just fine bonding together and being able to live together when they are not spayed. And I've personally done this many times. Currently, I do have 2 female rabbits that are not spayed that have been living together for a few years and get along perfectly. And there have been instances where I've even had males that are bonded, but that can be a little bit more tricky, and you should try having them together since they are very little, growing up together. When they're older, it can be a lot more difficult, but there are certain circumstances in which you might find it easier to have neutered males bonded together. But my point is that there are a lot of different options and there are different circumstances. And I'm not going to be using fear tactics to try to force you guys to do something. I want to show you what the options are. Which leads me to my next myth, that is rabbits must be spayed and neutered. No, you do not have to get your rabbit spayed or neutered. That is not a care requirement. And I do respect people who do want to have that done. Maybe that's something that you feel is something necessary for your situation, but I do not respect people who try to force this on others and say that it is just a black and white issue and that you have to do it. That's just not the case. Spaying and neutering your rabbit is your choice. And I've talked about this a lot, so I'm briefly going to go over some of the things that I have to say about it. But new veterinary research is showing that spay and neutering is actually having harmful effects on the body. The body needs all of its organs in order to properly function. So you know how people say that if you get your rabbit fixed, then it's going to help with certain behavioral problems that you're having with your rabbit. Now pay attention here, because what is happening is that when you're getting your rabbit fixed, you are taking hormones out of the equation, and that's why their behavior changes. Now, hormones do not just control how annoying or nice your rabbit is. It controls a lot of other things that are going on in the body and other functions. So we're finding out that without these hormones, you're not only just affecting the behavior of the animal, you're affecting other things. And not having that is actually leading to illnesses and health problems. So hormones do control a lot of other functions in the body. Now, spay and neuter is not a decision that you should take lightly. Here on the farm, I have a lot of different types of animals, and I've had to have certain ones of those animals fixed. Now, that is something that I have to really think about. I have to weigh the costs and the benefits of having that animal fixed. And in some situations, I find that it is best to have them spayed or neutered. But in other situations, I don't. And so that's what I want you guys to take from this video, is that you need to figure out what is best for your own situation. And don't let somebody bully you into making a choice. Now, let's get all the offensive ideas I have out of the way and move on to our next myth, which is children cannot have pet rabbits. This is something that I wholeheartedly disagree with. Lots of my younger subscribers here on the channel have pet rabbits. They take amazing care of those rabbits, so shout out to you guys. You guys are doing awesome. There's also channels here on YouTube that are run by kids, and they're uploading these really good rabbit videos. I've seen really good content from them, and I think they're doing a great job. And I myself had lots of rabbits growing up, so I just don't think that's something you can say is like, oh, these aren't pets for kids. No, I highly recommend rabbits as pets for kids. Now, something I do want to mention is that here on this channel, when I'm talking about kids, that is anybody younger than 17. 17 and younger is what I would consider a kid. Now, I do not talk about age when I'm talking about which pets I recommend for kids and things like that, because maturity is more important than a number, and you cannot say how mature someone is based off of their age. I know 10-year-olds that are way more mature than 16-year-olds. So it really, depends on what your maturity level is. You need to be mature in order to have a pet, but I'm not going to go around saying that children are too mature to have pets. But back to my point, let's talk about rabbits are good pets for kids. And so let's go over some of the reasons why people say that they're not. I've heard that kids are loud and noisy and can scare a rabbit. That it is true that a rabbit can die from fright. That is true. It is not true that all kids are loud and noisy. And I feel like people who say that, I feel like their only interactions with children have been with bratty, loud children at a grocery store. Not all kids are like that. I myself grew up around deer and rabbits and sugar gliders and rode horses, and for all of those things, you need to be quiet. I was not loud as a little kid. I was actually pretty quiet. And a lot of kids can be taught how to be around those animals and taught how to interact with them appropriately. And seriously, have people never been to a strict church? If you grew up religious, you know that children can be taught to be quiet and silent and still for hours. My point being is that if a child is interested in this type of pet, they can be taught how to interact with the animal. Now that leads me to my next myth. Rabbits are expensive and high maintenance, and that's another reason people say that rabbits are not good pets for kids. In my opinion, rabbits are not expensive, especially when compared to different types of pets. I think they're definitely the more economical type of pets. They're not high maintenance either. Probably where you're going to spend the most amount of money with your rabbit is buying them a good sized pen. After that, their upkeep and daily maintenance is really not too bad. Now, that's not to say that you can't spend tons of money on your rabbit. If you want to, that's great. But if you can't, if you're just not capable of it, it doesn't make you a bad pet owner. As far as the rabbits being high maintenance, I don't get it. Merida's probably my easiest pet to care for. It's easy to keep her clean and well fed and leaves plenty of extra time for interacting with her. I just don't get what's so hard about caring for rabbits, and I think that most kids are perfectly capable of doing it. Now, myth number 7, rabbits cannot be kept outdoors. No, that's actually not true. A lot of times there are certain circumstances in which it is safe to keep rabbits outside. And that's one of the things, is that wild rabbits are in almost every type of climate, from hot climates to very cold climates. Of course, we are talking about domesticated rabbits, but it's important to understand that the breeders who created these domesticated breeds were not keeping them in air-conditioned and heated buildings. They were, for the most part, being kept outside or in buildings where it wasn't temperature controlled. Now, if you are considering keeping your rabbit outdoors, there are two very important things to consider, and that is predators and making sure that your rabbit is comfortable in hot weather and cold weather. My two outdoor rabbits are completely protected from predators, and they dig tunnels underneath the ground in order to go in there to be comfortable during hot weather and cold weather, and they're really happy with that. However, I do very much enjoy having an indoor rabbit, and I think it just really depends on your circumstances. I think I like keeping my rabbit indoors the best, but anyways, I will link a video down below that further explains why I have rabbits outside and why I have rabbits inside. Myth number 8, rabbits can be housed with guinea pigs. No, this is not true. Rabbits do not make good companions for guinea pigs. They can actually hurt guinea pigs, so it is best to always keep them in separate cages. And the last myth is rabbits eat only pellets. No, this is not true. Actually, rabbits should eat mostly hay, and then they should also get some vegetables, and then pellets would also make up a small part of their diet. But when fed too many pellets, they can actually get very fat. So it is better to keep your rabbits eating mostly hay. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really love making rabbit videos because I feel like I can offer a fresh perspective on rabbit care. So don't forget, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time.